Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Grace Hour Show, our Christian program that takes a dive into our daily challenges, helps us to learn about our faith in a practical way. My name's Matt Gehret. Today I'm joined for the third time by Jesse Feyers. Say hi, Jesse.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, this week we're talking about rest, learning how to rest, be in rest, and specifically today, learning to be still, learning to be still. Now, there's a verse that comes to mind immediately when I hear those words, and it's Psalm 46:10. So I'm just going to read it to you real quick, and then we'll jump right into the topic. But it's a good one. It comes towards the end of a psalm. There's only one more verse after it, and the entire psalm is basically speaking about how we can have confidence in God when the world is falling apart around us. And this is what it says in verse 10. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth." And when I was reading this psalm to prepare for the show, I was thinking about that really simple question that I think a lot of us maybe struggle with on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you don't. More power to you if you don't. But the question is basically, who do we put our confidence in? And for me, the only two choices are humanity or God. Humanity or God. So who do we put our confidence in? If we go back and forth a lot, it can be hard to be still, because if our confidence is in man, and it says in Jeremiah 17 that we have an arm of flesh, like we're trusting in mankind, an arm of flesh, then we're always going to be dry. We're always going to be worn out. We're always going to be defeated. But if we trust in the Lord, if we trust in God on a regular basis, the counter to that in Jeremiah 17, maybe verses 7 and 8, is that we will always be producing fruit. We will always be growing, and we will also not see the heat when it comes, is the phrase that it uses.
What's the heat?
The heat. What's the heat? Well, there's lots of things that could be the heat. What do you think? Do you ever ask yourself that question? Like, am I trusting in man right now, or am I trusting in God? And then what do you do with that whenever you come to that question?
Yeah. Well, I guess the verse that you said, Psalm 46:10, "Be still,
Nice,
and know that I am God." But what is the heat? I mean, it could be many things. Could be, heat from outside circumstances, just like general life, health. Yeah. But then it could be inward, even my own head, my own mind, and how I perceive myself, and all these questions, thinking about the future and really stressing about things that I really have no control over, and I'm just rushing and anxious and thinking of different ways how to really come out of it, or but then in that verse, "Be still," I think that's just like a main point. Just like first, like, okay, like relax.
Yeah.
Like all these things are true. Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, be still, one, and then two, like, know what? Know that I am God. So, and that just like gives you a lot of comfort, and it could be such a small thing. Maybe like, I sit down and just like, hey, I'm still, and I'm just waiting upon God. And then I just start thinking with God, know that I got, okay, Lord, you're with me. One.
Yeah.
Lord, you have authority over these things that are burdens or heats or heat waves in my life. Bunch of heat waves coming through.
Yes.
And I'm just sweating over here.
Yeah.
And can I just be still, cool, calm, and just like know that He is God.
But not just on the surface. Like,
Correct.
It's very easy to put on a facade and look cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We are.
Let's go.
We're on point.
No,
today
that's a
with
VeggieTales throwback. No, I don't know what that is. All right, but you can put on that face of like no reaction, nothing phases you. Life is going as usual or as expected, and you're unbothered by it. But inside there could be a ton of turmoil happening. So stillness is not just for like how we react, to certain situations and different heat that comes in from different sources, like the devil. Like the devil is actually one of those things that brings heat into our lives. He is a mocker. He is a deceiver. He is an accuser. He has many faces that he puts on, sometimes even good faces, an angel of light. Like he deceives us. He comes in and he tries to derail us. And when that heat comes in, instead of just putting on, a facade, do we really have confidence in God? Like, okay, Lord, you are over the devil. You are stronger than him. You have my best interest in mind. So the devil comes in and what does he do? He tempts. That's another one. He tempts. He comes to Jesus in Matthew 4, takes him to the highest mountain, says, all right, throw yourself off. Let's see if the angels have your back, Yeah. And it's like, I don't need to do that. Like I worship God and God alone. And I know the angels have my back, but I'm not going to prove anything to you.
Wow.
All the proof is in my secure relationship with God the Father. Do we have that in our own hearts and minds? When a temptation comes in, can we say, I don't need that. God provides every good and perfect gift from above. That's the gift that I need. Yeah. I don't need the one that you're offering.
Yeah, that's good. And like you're saying, I got to prove something. I think that's a big point. Like, can I be weak? Can I be vulnerable and just be open about my weakness, my tiredness, if I'm feeling a lot of heat, can I be open about that instead of saying, no, I gotta put on this man. I gotta be a man and just do it myself.
Yeah.
And there's a few verses, and I thought about this, just like God understands that you're weary and you're tired, and it's throughout the scripture.
Oh my gosh.
So many times.
Yes.
And he offers like rest. But in the Old Testament, in Isaiah 40:29-31, he says, he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youth grows tired and weary. Young men stumble and fall, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. And then also in Psalm 103:14, for he knows, like God knows we're weak.
Yes.
For he knows how we are formed, and he remembers that we are dust. And I love that. Like, I can be weak.
Yeah.
Especially to God,
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe it's a little hard for us among our peers and loved ones, but even you should come to a point where you should feel comfortable with saying, like, I need help. Like, I'm struggling. I'm tired. I'm weak. And maybe like God will use that person to speak life. But I think that's a first step, is to recognize like it's okay to be tired and weak, because we're all going to get there at some point, because there is a lot of heat waves out there, and we can't do it alone.
You know what I love? In the Gospels, Jesus says to like a large group of people, when the children come to him, he says, don't keep them from coming to me. And then he uses them as an example. And he says, like, unless you have the faith like this child, like you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. And then in the book of Romans and Galatians, Paul talks about how when we are adopted by God, as believers, we cry out to God like this, like, Abba, Father. And if you've ever like pictured, like, okay, I'm a dad, our producer Seb, he's a dad, like we can actually hear this when we think about it. But like when our kids cry, Daddy, like, Dad,
what?
Yeah, that's our reaction. Like, what? You need something again? Like, no, but like, how much need they have when they use that phrase? How much need do we have? Like, if we recognize that we are children of the Lord and we are weak, as you're saying, that when we cry out, Abba, Father, like Daddy, like there's an inherent like built-in need right there, where God knows he's ready. I love this. This is Psalm 18 or 2 Samuel, maybe 22 or 23, David's last psalm, essentially. And he says towards the beginning of it, like, I cried out to the Lord and he heard me. And then the next like 6 verses are how the earth trembled and shook as God made his way to like David to answer his cry. So imagine us like as children, weak, not knowing what to do. Our only answer may be, okay, God, God, I need you. And he's like moving heaven and earth to come and be with us in that moment and renew our strength, it says in Isaiah 40, and lift us up on wings like eagles and refresh us and really like take us in and say, no, I got you. Like, I'm here for you. Yeah. Like a natural dad would for his son or daughter.
Yes. Wow. And it was that Jesus said, come unto me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the first thing is like, there has to be a coming away or turning away from something. Like we have to leave something behind. These things that get us tired and weary. It could be jobs, finances, many things, we say all the time. But like, can I step aside from that? The thing's still there. It needs to get done. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think there's something about the coming, like Jesus, like calling out to us. Like these little children, like coming, just they want to see, Jesus. They want to be with Jesus. Yeah. And can we be like those children and just like, all right, I'm going to step away. And maybe it's almost like childlike because maybe I'm adult and I got all these responsibilities and we do.
Yeah.
But like we're coming to the provider.
Yes.
Like the one who has rest for your soul. And you need that right now. You need this more than, your family needs you to do this and do that, or your boss needs you to do that. Like you need for yourself, because we could keep people pleasing, trying to be just the provider and all these things, and they're great and we need to do them. But I need to be built up, like you said, refreshed, encouraged in the Lord, because if I do these things by myself in the flesh, it's going to be very tough for me, and it's going to end not really well for me. So
I'm thinking of David. It might be 1 Samuel 30. I'm not positive, where he just has this great victory over his enemies, the Philistines, and the mighty men are with him. But they return to their home in Ziklag. I think let me check. Do I have time to flip the pages of my Bible? 1 Samuel
30, you said?
Chapter 30, I think, yeah. And, they have this great victory, but when they get back, everyone's gone. They basically, their wives, their children, everyone, the Amalekites came in and took everyone. And, okay, David just did this amazing thing. He led his men in victory in one way. And you come back, and in the same moment, in the same day, all those men turn on him. Like, what's David going to do in that moment? Is he going to just like try to talk himself out of the predicament that he put him and all of his men in? No, he can't do that. They're literally ready to kill him. He actually needs to step away for there to be some sort of objectivity to come into the situation. But what does he do? Like he's basically like learning to be still in this moment. What does it say he does? Verse 6, David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. He took a moment away from all of that, the pressing situation, everything was coming in on him at that moment. And he just says, hold on a sec. All right, Lord, what do I know about you? What do I know about our relationship? What do I know about your character? And like, be still and know that I am God. You're like understanding who God is and really counting him faithful. 1 Corinthians 1:9, 1 Corinthians 10:9. Like, you're counting him faithful. Okay, God, you're faithful even in this situation right now. And he comes back to his men and he has a plan and he goes. But if he would have just like tried to talk himself out of it, for all we know, that could have been the end of David right there.
Yeah.
But he had to take a moment to be still, think with God, and then come back and he has an answer.
Yeah. And what were you saying before about like, you don't have to give an answer right away? I think that's can you like touch on that? Or is that too soon?
No, it's not too soon. It's just too common. Like, we live in a society where everything is instant. Communication is instant. It used to be you had to pick up a phone, dial a number, and if the line was going tee, 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 You had to try again later. Okay, now no one uses that kind of phone anymore for the most part. And you just send a text and then you're just sitting there waiting for someone to respond to your text.
I see the bubbles.
And you see the bubbles or you see the
dot.
No, you see the red and they don't respond right away.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting madder and madder. And
They
you're just
synced
like
it.
anxiety and it's building up. You're like, what did I say? What did I do wrong? What? And you need to just like be still.
Yeah.
Maybe communication needs like some breaks between it, because constant communication and connection with people is not what we were built for.
Yeah.
We were built for constant communication and connection with our maker, God, not with all the people around us who are made in the image of God, but that's not the end all be all. Like, let me read Jeremiah 17:5, because I never actually read it. And I think it's really powerful.
Yeah.
It says, let's see. Fast fingers, Jeremiah 17, verse 5. Thus says the Lord, cursed is the man that trusts in man and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. He will be like the heath in the desert and will not see when good comes, but will inhabit the parched places in the wilderness in a salt land and not inhabited. Like, do you need someone to respond to you right away every time you send any sort of communication? How about 50, 60 years ago when all you could do was like send a letter?
Yeah.
And you had to wait months for someone to like send back a letter. Do you think people were okay with being still then? They had other ways to fill their time.
Yeah.
Now we're just so trained on, or conditioned is really the word. We're conditioned on instant communication, instant gratification, that if we don't get it, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And really God's like, no. Hey, there's plenty of time. Let's you and I commune. Let's come and let us reason together. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18. Like, let's have a relationship.
Yeah.
Let me be the Lord over your life and watch things fall into place. Like, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and things are added to your life. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think about not always responding right away? I know I didn't really.
No, you did. And I would say, because like I picked up on another thing, like you were talking about communication with people, and I get like that where, because my job entails a lot of me communicating with people.
Sure.
Then you have ministry too as well. It's all people. So we're constantly dealing with people. But then there's a other point where you're saying like I'm reading a text, communicating, and then like I see and I'm thinking all these thoughts in my head, like why aren't they doing this? And there's a lot of communication up here internally in our own selves and our own minds.
Yeah.
But you're saying that even that could be even too much. So I could be overly stimulated with people. I could be overthinking even myself.
Yeah.
There has to be a separation for myself, the world, people, and I go and leave all that and I sit in stillness first, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that quietness, stillness is a very, people want that. Like there's a lot of things that are maybe offering that now. You could float in a body of water. It's like a float
Zero
session.
gravity.
Yes.
Yeah. Zero grav pod.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I want to try it.
Exactly. Right? Because why? Because we really long for this.
Darkness.
Yes.
Emptiness.
That was the other one.
No one else is around you. Nothing else is around you.
And then they said there's like it's a retreat that these people do.
Right.
You literally cover your eyes, like I blindfold yourself for like days. Days. And so now you have all these other senses, but then like when they unveil or take off their coverings after like X amount of days, and they're just like overwhelmed by what they see, what they hear, all these things, because they closed off, from something that they constantly use and see every day. And now they like kind of, and that's kind of like quietness too as well. Like when I take myself off of these, the world and myself, all these noises, and I take a step back in quietness. Yeah. And then I meet God in the stillness and the quietness. And there's a lot of verses in the Bible that talks about like stillness and quietness.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was my kind of thought. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm also thinking, no, like that's good. And like that, we all kind of have that desire a little bit to just separate completely. But but there is a real like Christian discipline in life called solitude, where we can practice having solitude with God. And we wake up early in the morning. Like David says in Psalm 63, early will I seek you, right? We wake up early in the morning, and we don't do it because we think it's like necessary. We do it because we want to be with God. We do it because it actually fills us for a day. But we get alone. We get in the quiet. Maybe you brew some coffee. Maybe you sit on a chair or on the floor or somewhere where you're not just going to fall right back to sleep. Like if you just lay back down in the bed, you know what's going to happen? You're going to fall back to sleep. But you go somewhere and you sit and you close your eyes, or you have your Bible in front of you and you say, all right, Lord, like what are your thoughts for me today? What do you have to teach me? What do you have to encourage me? And you take your time with like a verse or a chapter or nothing at all, and you just sit there and listen. And whatever thoughts come in, you're like, okay, you're not super subjective about it, but you can believe that, oh, maybe God is speaking to me a little bit about like this situation or that thing.
Yeah.
And you can be in prayer. And solitude is a really powerful tool in the Christian's life. But if they're just constantly facing a barrage of, is that the right word? Barrage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Facing a barrage of influences and voices and ideas and technology and people and just nonstop. Like as soon as the kids get up, it's game over. Like there's no such thing as solitude anymore. Dad, because that same thing we talked about, daddy, but it's a different kind of daddy at that point. It's like, I need food. I need this. I need that. If you take that little bit of time,
yes, that
stillness can go through the rest of your day with you, and you have a much different perspective on the day. Yeah.
And you have to, I guess, like we have to position. First is your position. Like you have to position yourself for that, because maybe it doesn't come naturally because of life. So you really have to kind of plan it and just like really organize it where I need that time somewhere in the day. Where I position myself in the quietness, like Jesus says, go in thy closet.
Yes.
Like what is a closet? And I was thinking like, what? They had closets back in the day? Like what? The wives had all these places for their clothes and shoes? No, it was a storage room.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
And had no windows maybe, and they had a small place of solitude where you could really shut off from the world. And so that's positioning yourself. Put yourself in a position, whether it's, you do have that closet. Maybe not in your actual closet. I tried it, and I'm just looking at all these clothes, and I'm just like thinking about finances and stuff. And I'm just getting more angry. Go in a place where, there's even like noise machines. Sometimes that helps, of hearing waves or birds or something like that. Like you could position yourself in a place where, I could actually be still here and I feel comfortable here, and let me just relax. And then, what do I do after that? Once I'm in the stillness, then what's like next? Like receiving from God. How do I do that?
Yeah.
Maybe I got the stillness part, but now what am I intaking in my mind?
That's a great question, and that's something that every person has to kind of like battle with, because we all have so many different influences in our lives. It's hard to dictate like what thoughts come in and what thoughts don't.
Yeah.
But the more we give ourselves the opportunity to take in God's thoughts, like reading the Bible or hearing a message, or just taking time to pray and think about who God is, what He's done, how much He loves you, like those things can really change your perspective.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like learning to be still is really hard when you're angry. Learning to be still is really hard when you're angry. What's the first thing as a guy you want to do when you're angry?
Work out.
Work out. Okay, that's a pretty good answer. I'd say that's what I tell. Like, I just got to go take some things out on the gym equipment.
Yeah,
And Jamil's like, yeah. She's like, I totally understand that. Go have a great workout. I'm like, yes, I think I will because I'm I'm annoyed. Okay, working out is one. What's another thing? Like, think negatively.
Oh, when I'm angry?
Yeah.
I just want to talk bad, maybe, or
yell.
Yell.
Yell. Like scream. Punch something.
Yeah.
Hopefully not someone.
Yeah.
But like there is that proclivity in people to cause pain. It's really hard to be still when you're angry.
Yeah.
Like God says to Jonah, hey, do you do well to be angry?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? What does Jonah need in that moment? This is like the end of the book. It's like the biggest cliffhanger. We have no idea what happens to Jonah the rest of his life, other than the fact that God's like calling him out on his anger. But maybe there's nothing there because we need to learn. Oh, we need to think about that question for a little bit. Do we do well to be angry? Is that a good thing? Like, what happened when Cain was angry with Abel? He murdered him. Yeah. It's like, wow, that went south really fast. Like, that ended the first life that we know of in the biblical text. Yeah. Right? Do we do well to be angry? Maybe we need to, instead of being filled with our anger, we need to like give that to God, and we need to talk to him and we need to hear from him. And maybe he asks us that same question. Well, do you do well to be angry? And that can like kind of stop us in our tracks sometimes. And then we can turn, we can repent, we can confess our anger, and we can move on from it. But if we just get caught up and carried away in it, we're just going to go off and cause destruction, essentially, whether it's to our muscles in the gym, I don't know, or just, destruction in our minds. Yeah. Or destruction with other people. And none of those really are like great outlets, Yeah.
And I think like maybe writing it down maybe would be another one before I act upon it, or even, my anger lashes out. Can I maybe write it down what you're feeling. And then like you're saying, like, does it do you well? Yeah. Like, will punching a wall
is this solve anything?
Help you? Yeah. And the answer is no, hopefully not, but there is another thing in the world. You break stuff.
Oh yeah. That's another room, isn't it?
Get your anger out.
It's not a zero gravity pod. It's a destruction pod.
It's just a room and you just destroy stuff.
That's true. That's true. That's in the world. That's a real thing.
And like Jesus says, like, I have a different peace from the world. Like there is a peace in the world, but they're offering something totally different, and it's very temporal. Very temporary. As Christ, what Christ is offering is really eternal, and we can maybe get into that later. But like the breaking, smashing stuff, and that releases. Yeah, maybe it releases something, and you feel good because you got anger out, but this is not the way to, because you're gonna take that, and now it's gonna go in the real world where, I'm not in this,
isolated room where I can break these things.
Now I'm in my home. Yeah. And now I got a TV in front of me. And then, so like, the way that the world offers it and the way that God offers it is like totally different. Yes. The world's saying, go and maybe sit in the water and float and then break stuff. But God's saying just like, go in a closet, go in a separate room and just be still first. Yes. Like empty out your think, like, and just, yes. So just be still. And that's so, wow, what a word today. Yes. Can I be still in the storms? Can I be like a tree planted by the waters? And nice. Yeah. Like that's a huge thing. And so, you found something.
Well, I did, but you also said something else that reminded me. So Jesus is the only one asleep in the boat when there is a storm happening in the Gospels. All the disciples are freaking out. Right. And he's just like fast asleep. Okay. So like
must have been a good bed.
He's an example. Do we trust in man or do we trust in God? If it were up to man to try to figure their way out of that storm, nothing would have worked. They would have drowned. It says other ships actually were taken out during that storm, but not the boat with Jesus in it. It's up to God. Like it really is up to God. Here's another thing we can do that like helps us to learn to be still. This is Psalm chapter 4 and verse 4. Maybe we could start from verse 3. It says, "But know that the Lord has set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him." But this part right here is really good for like learning to be still. "Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still." Selah. Like, think about that. And another place in Ephesians, like, "Be ye angry and do not sin." Like, okay, you're angry, be still. You're upset about something, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You get an email that you don't like, do not respond right away and hit send.
Wow.
Like, you name the situation, someone you care about says something that's hurtful to you, do not say the first thing that comes to your mind when you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like it says, "Stand in awe, sin not, commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still." And this is like, man, this is such a great idea and tool that we could develop in our lives as Christians, that we would hold our tongue. Like the tongue is a flame of fire in James chapter 3, that we would hold it before it causes destruction.
Yeah.
And again, this is like not something we can really do of our own strength, but we can cry out to God and say, Lord, vengeance is yours. Don't let me say what's in my heart right now to say. Like, God, you take care of it. Or God, change their mind. Or God, give me the gracious way to respond to this that brings peace to the situation. You have a coworker or people who like come against you in some way. They're just like after you for whatever reason. Like how do you deal with that? But you be still. Like, you be still. All right, God is on the throne. God is in charge. I'm walking in the light. I'm going to continue walking in the light. And as I walk in the light, they're going to see the light, and either they're going to be convicted by it or they're going to be condemned by it, because that's like the savor of a Christian to unbelievers in this world. Yeah. All we can do is be still sometimes.
Yeah. No, I mean, many thoughts but like Jesus, every time like the Pharisees or someone came at Jesus, what did Jesus respond to is usually a question. And that's kind of like what you're saying too as well. It's just like, okay, there's a question. Like, don't act upon it right away. Jesus questions it. He doesn't say, no, that's wrong, and this and that. Yeah. He questions it. He makes you think about it.
What's your motive?
And, yes. Yeah. And my father, I always say this all the time. My father always says, thinketh before he speaketh, you know? And
King James language.
Stay with the King James language all the time. And me and my brothers would get upset, you know? Yeah. But it's so true. They have a saying now, it says, say less. And it's really true. Like, don't these feelings, these emotions, the anger, they are natural. You're going to go through them. Yeah. Throughout the day, maybe you're going to go through different things, whether it's stress, anxiety, anger, frustration. I could experience all these things, and I could experience all these good things. But regardless of where I'm at, whether, you know, I'm on the mountaintop or maybe in the valley of despair, I can, hey, be still. Yeah. One, think about what I'm going through. Why am I angry? You know, does it do me well? Yeah. Or two, I could think about, hey, like, I'm having a good time. Like, life is great right now. But then can I sit back and reflect and just really have gratitude, you know, towards God in that? So it's a balance of both. And it's this life that's just like crazy, where we have all these things and we have all these emotions that we are going to experience. But how do I learn how to sit in stillness? And Jesus says, go in your closet. And in that context, he was saying the religious leaders are praying out in the synagogues. But you go in your closet and you pray to me, because the Father hears in what?
In secret.
In secret. Yeah. In quietness.
He rewards you openly. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. In secret and in quietness. Yeah. And I love that what you're saying. Instead of reacting, can I go pray for that brother? Yeah. Like, that's huge, because I'm learning. I don't know 100% yet, because I'm a man and I'm frail, but I'm learning that, like, that works a lot. Not reacting in my own response, but taking a step back and just praying maybe over the situation. Like, Lord, I don't like what that person said to me. I did not like at all. Or what they're doing, maybe I don't agree with. Lord, you maybe you do. I have something against them. Maybe, Lord, you do that. You fix it. Or you maybe change my mind the way I'm thinking of it. Maybe it's me.
Know my thoughts. Yeah.
And you know what? God, many of the times,
oh man,
he responds and he either changes that person's heart and they're apologized, or he changes my heart and then he solves the situation.
Yes.
And that comes to the Red Sea, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about that like in Exodus 14.
Yeah.
They come up to the Red Sea, and what's that? What's verse 14? It says,
I love that verse.
He says, the Lord will fight for you.
Yes.
And you only have to what?
Stand still.
Stand still. Some verses say in peace.
Fear not. Yeah.
Fear not. And then in the ESV, it says only to be silent. And that's an amazing verse. But you could think of it now. Put your shoes in like the Israelites right now. Like they are in foreign land. They're coming out of Egypt slavery, and they're going and being led by Moses. And they're kind of like, there's different things. There was plagues going on, and like it's just like, oh wow, what is going on? Yeah. Now I'm going by faith, but it's kind of unsteady, and I get to this water,
and it seems like a dead end.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, I could say more.
No, please. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I mean, but I love the next verse. I think it's verse 15. What does the verse 15 say?
And the Lord said unto Moses, why do you cry unto me?
There you go. Stop. I got such a great, like the Lord in a great way convicted me, because conviction is a really good thing. Convicted me so much. Like I cry, we like know you're frail and you're going to cry, but like the Lord's like, why do I hear crying? Didn't I just say like, be still? Haven't I done all these things for you? And I hear crying. Yeah. Like really? Like I can't get you out of this. I led you here. You think I'm going to no, like, and I love that. Why do I hear crying? And so sometimes, and maybe that's another topic for one day.
No, it's great.
Maybe, crying instead of crying about it. Yeah, there's a point to lament, right?
Sure,
there's a point to cry and really, think upon these things and be serious. Yeah. But then sometimes we can get so overwhelmed and burdened and keep crying about these same things. Yeah. But the Lord just like kind of like when David talks to his son, he says, "Hey, be a man." Yeah. There's a time to step up, and it's just like, we get the crying out, we get the fear out, but you know what? Okay. I'm here by faith, Lord. Let's go. And then the Red Sea's got to open up and just... And
a lot of times that crying that you're talking about, that's meant for your closet. That's meant for your time alone with God. What the Israelites were doing in that situation is they were not believing that God was going to deliver them. It says in Psalm 20, verse 7, some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. And they, like in that moment... They know that God took them to this place. Moses led them here. But they're crying like, oh, couldn't they have just let us stay in Egypt? We would have had food there. Yeah, we would have been slaves, but we would have been well fed. We would have been taken care of. We had beds to sleep on. We weren't just traveling through the wilderness. Their crying was like saying, God's not with us anymore. It's the same as when Moses went up on the mountain, which that takes place after this, right? Moses goes up on the mountain. He's gone for 40 days. And they're crying, we need a God. We need someone who we can worship, who delivered us from this. And they create a golden calf. Like it's such an idolatrous, rebellion. It's a rebellious cry. Yeah. And that's what God is like coming against. Like, why do I hear rebellion? Yeah. Why, have I not brought you to this place? You're going to keep going forward because I'm the one leading you through. Like the pillar of fire stood between them and Pharaoh's army. Like they had nothing to worry about, but this is all of us. This is human nature. So instead of freaking out, being rebellious, like, okay, it's up to me now. It's always been on me. Like you take that attitude on and it's like, no, really, like God, it's on you and I'm trusting in you. What's going to happen? The Red Sea is going to open. And that's because God is in it and God is in the situation.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. It's just,
no, that's good. So we really hit on kind of the spiritual and mental side of it. Yeah. Right? Because we're coming on time, right? Yeah. Yep. We always say this. This is our natural thing. Yes. I mean, me and you, we always talk about, all right, we're in time. Yeah. And I thought about Isaiah. I mean, I'll just really quick talk about this. Isaiah 30, verse 15. It says, in repentance and in rest is your salvation. In quietness and in trust is your strength. And the context of this is it's to the Judah and the Assyrian armies that coming after them. And instead of trusting in God, and knowing that God's going to be a provider for them, that instead they go to Egypt and they try to make a deal with Egypt to try to save them in this situation. And that's like us in the world. Like, do we make an agreement with the world, or even our flesh is resembling Egypt?
Yeah.
And we could really say, all right, maybe I'm going to take the easy way out and just like, I'm going to do it myself, and I'll find something in the world to give me stress, to give me quietness, to relax me, whatever it is, instead of really trusting and obeying in God. Yes. Giving up the temporal and thinking about the eternal. And so in repentance and returning, returning, come unto me, all you who labor. Labor's things that I do. Yeah. Stresses, striving that I do on myself, and that are heavy laden. Heavy laden is more of an internal thing that myself or others maybe put on me. Labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And so in those things, and then it says in that verse, rest is your salvation, and quietness and trust. And I think that's what can we trust for God in our lives, for God to come through in every situation and circumstance. Yeah. In that moment, Israel did, they went out by faith and they were led by Moses, but then they got to a point where it was a little tough and didn't look too good. Yeah. And God leads you in those times, man, right? Absolutely. And then even after that, they got through. Yeah. What happened? Wilderness. Yeah. Oh,
we have no water.
And this is life.
We have no food.
We're at minute 7. I was just talking about this is life. Like it just like, wow, there's something new, something different every day. And it's a daily thing. Yeah. It's a daily thing that I have to really sit in quietness and really trust in God, because there's heat waves.
Yeah. Psalm 46 starts with this idea. And if you take this with you, okay, we started with Psalm 46:10, but go back to the beginning of that psalm. It says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. If you can take a verse like that to heart in your life, like that reminds me of Psalm 91, verse 1. It says, he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. I could keep going because that sounds amazing. But if you take one of those verses in and you just think about it for a day, for a week, for a year, I don't know, for however long you need to before it sinks in and you understand that the Holy Spirit is saying to you that God is your refuge. He's the place. Like it says in Isaiah, maybe chapter 28, like, the enemy and unbelievers, they believe in a refuge of lies. They believe in a refuge that's going to, when God's judgment comes in, it's going to be torn down, destroyed, and completely taken out. But if God is your refuge, like no one and nothing is ever going to be able to destroy that. Yeah. The church is always going to overcome the gates of hell. Yeah. Matthew chapter 16. God's presence is always going to overcome darkness. Light will always overcome. It says the darkness cannot comprehend the light. Yeah. So if we can believe that God is God, and everything that comes with him being God, even the things we don't understand, we can believe that, then we have an ever-present help in time of trouble. This is every single day of our lives. He's not just leaving us high and dry on some random Tuesday. Like he's with us on that Tuesday. It's Monday morning and you get that email that you didn't want to get to start off your week. He's not leaving you high and dry, but do you want to go to him, or do you want to take it up with yourself and handle it? I think that's the decision we all need to make on a daily basis. And if we can choose God, we can learn to be still. Learning to be still means taking ourselves out of the equation. We can learn to be still. Wow. God, what do you think? Then we have direction to go in.
Yeah. I had a brother like that verse, but it was related to the Psalm verse that you're saying, but like God is my high tower.
Yeah. Proverbs.
Is it Proverbs too?
Maybe. Yeah.
But it was like the verse of the day, and God is my high tower, aka like refuge. It's a place of shelter, a place of comfort, and Like my brother, this brother of mine, he was just like he was looking for work and work wasn't coming in at the moment.
Yeah.
But that was his verse of the day. And he's like, man, maybe God's not giving me work, But like, I love that because he took a scenario, work wasn't coming in, like finding something hard. And then, but he turned it, he returned to God. Like, he was like, all right, maybe God's leading me in this.
Yes.
Maybe God's putting me through this wilderness or putting me in this situation because I got to learn something. All right, what do? I'm going to sit, be still.
Nice.
Know that I am God because I don't have the answer right now. So now I search the word and I search for the answer through that. And it may take a long time before that answer comes, or maybe it never comes, but it's through the word and the comfort of him, because he is the ultimate comforter, and we could just rest in that. And so man, we're done already. We got to go part 2.
All right, part 2, one day, coming to you soon. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We appreciate you following along.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to the show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Be sure to join us the rest of the week as we continue to talk about rest. See you guys.
The rest of the week.